I'm in Seaton down in Devon, and you can see some trams behind me as part of the Seaton Tramway. And the lovely people here got in touch to say that they do a tram driving experience. Would I like to come down, have a look round, and have a go of driving a tram?
I'm going behind the scenes of the Seaton Tramway, starting with getting behind the controls and driving one with the help of one of their instructors, as I have a tram driving lesson day.
I'm going to do the bell!
Yeah, please do the bell.
Bell!
And my friend Matt, who volunteers here, is going to take us for a quick tour around the depot as well.
On the trams, these are not called bogies, these are called trucks.
So let's go for a ride along this scenic and fantastic little tramway and learn a little about its history as well. The Seaton Tramway follows the path of an old railway line closed by Beeching in 1966, with the trams starting up just 4 years later in 1970. It's a 2-foot 9-inch gauge and runs inland for 3 miles, up from Seaton by the coast to the town of Colyton, with a couple of halts and a level crossing across a road along the way. My first duty, though, was to meet with my instructor for the day, Pete, who took me through the controls.
This is the most crucial part of the tram. This is the one you need to get hold of and understand more than anything else, because this is your brake. There are no mechanical aids to this. This is a cable that pulls the brake shoes onto the wheel. Now, with this, to release the brake, we pull it gently towards us and kick out the ratchet at the bottom, and then we can undo it. Now, we never let go of the handle on the brake at all until we've come to a stop and taken the key out.
And having learned how to stop the tram, Pete takes me through the 4-position controller, which makes the tram move.
So we want to go forward, notch 1. Then you point the pointer to notch 1. And then I shall go notch 2. And then you release notch 3 and just take the pressure off. And notch 4 and then take the pressure off. Notch 4 is our cruising speed. We never cruise in 1, 2 and 3, because if you keep it in there for more than about 30 seconds to a minute, it'll start to burn the resistors out. And at some point I'll be saying to you, Geoff, okay, power off, and you come all the way round to the off position, trying not to go beyond the off position, because that's the emergency electric braking, and we really don't want to put your nose on the windscreen or mine.
Right then, time to get moving. Time for me to get driving.
We're off now. So remember, first grab the brake, pull it towards you,
Yeah.
kick it in,
But
hold it. Ignition key forward,
ignition key forward,
push it forward.
like that.
Notch 1, and at the same time brake off. So take that off.
Wow, whoa!
Always have that on.
Oh, so always have my hand on.
Yeah, now we're coming to some point, so power off. That's it, now let her roll through there.
Why do you have to power off when you go through? Because the points are springs, right?
Yeah, and it could be that there is the odd occasion where if you do power through, it has the potential to ride up over the points.
How do you know how fast you're going? There's no speedometer.
speedo there.
Oh, where's the speed? Okay, there is
Doesn't
a.
work, but we've got one. And notch 2. And notch 3.
Hang on, my hand is.
That's alright.
Notch 3?
Yeah. And notch 4.
4?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh goodness.
Okay. So, can you see in the distance? There's a yellow ding ding sign
No.
on the left hand side.
Oh, the W.
Yeah.
So W is for whistle or warning.
Whistle.
Whistle. And I give it a.
So power off,
Power on.
and I want you to stop so that you and I are level with that yellow
So
sign.
this is like a brake test.
Yeah,
You're
this is a brake test.
Just making sure that I can brake.
Yeah.
What happens if I overshoot? Do I fail my driving instructor
You
exam?
do.
Okay.
And it's a long walk back.
So you want me level with the sign or?
Yeah, so it's level with you. Hey, round of applause. Wow.
That's bang on!
Brilliant.
That's bang on!
Okay, so right, ding ding.
Oh wow.
Notch 1.
Goodness.
Break off.
Break off.
Break off and get moving again, under the close instruction of Pete, who's one of many people who works here at Seaton.
Yeah, so our team at Seaton Tramway is made up of volunteers and full-time staff, as well as our seasonal retail and shop staff that join us throughout the year. Our main staff in the depot are made up of engineers and our sort of management team that run 12 months in the year, and then we have about 40 to 50 drivers on our books that range from volunteers to a few full-time paid staff as well.
The tramway is single track for its entire 3 miles, meaning you have passing loops to enable the trams to pass each other.
So we've got a loop coming up here, and we don't go into loops more than 2 miles an hour. So start to brake, start to slow it down.
So we'll go through the loop on the left-hand side.
We're going to the left.
And we'll just coast through.
Please. That's lovely. So that's enough there, you'll get through the points of that.
So I guess like any tram driving, this is one of those things. You've done this how many years?
7 years.
7 years. After a while,
It's like driving a car.
it becomes instinctive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And bear in mind that your wheels are 6 feet behind you, so you now know that your wheels have gone through the point, so you can notch 1.
So I can notch 1. Okay.
Notch 2.
Notch 2.
And 3. And 4.
And 4.
Yeah.
Give it the full.
Yeah. So you've got a ding ding coming up.
The full beans. Oh, right.
So get ready to ding ding.
Do you ding ding at the board or before the board?
Just as you get to it. That's lovely.
Now you said earlier we get to a point where there's a road crossing.
Yes.
And you do that bit.
I have to drive.
I'm not allowed to do that bit. You do the road crossing.
it's only yards.
Okay. All right. How do we know if we're on time or not? If we're obeying the timetable?
If I've got a tram up my backside, I know we're late.
So we have a fleet of 14 trams. That includes 1 maintenance car and 13 passenger cars. 12 of those are currently operational in our sort of normal daily service. They range from our lovely double-deckers to our enclosed saloons, and they vary from all over the country, various histories. So the one you've been driving today used to run in Exeter, just an hour down the road from us here. We've got an old Bournemouth tram. We've got some big accessible trams as well, and some smaller ones that used to run in Eastbourne. So the tramway, before its 55 years here, ran for about 17 years in Eastbourne, from our founders Claude Lane's legacy.
The tram line goes right through the wetland centre, meaning that there's plenty of wildlife spotting opportunities.
Got a nice little kestrel sitting above you there.
There is a kestrel. Oh, that's great. Look at the kestrel.
So now we're coming over Bobsworth Bridge, and it's called Bobsworth because this is where it used to go to, and it was a shilling. And can you see in the middle of the track there's a post with a white light on it?
No.
The first post in the middle of the track.
Oh, there's a post with a light. Yeah.
So when you get a white light, you know your trolley pole has gone the right way. And it should be anywhere about now. Okay, so if you just bring it to a stop at the end of the block paving.
So I'll do a little bit of brake, yeah?
Yeah. And then again, let it roll. Keep going. Because we've got to get tram in behind us yet. That's perfect.
So bring that in,
Yeah.
and then
So
flick
keep
that
it at
on.
the bottom. Make sure, no, keep it, hold it in with your foot until you know it's...
There we go, and I heard it go quite.
So
You said a tram's going to come in behind us?
Yeah, there we go.
A second tram will come in behind us?
Yes, he's following us.
Yeah, so it's a 3-mile route, and from when you leave in Seaton, it'll go through the Seaton wetlands along the River Axe. So it's a fantastic panoramic views, especially when you've got a lovely day like today. You see the abundant wildlife, birds. We do our own bird watching tram as well throughout the year, so that's guided with a bird watcher on board with binoculars to sort of teach you what birds you're hearing, seeing, etc. And on any one trip you'll see about 50 to 60 bird species as well.
It's remarkably tranquil and peaceful, but Pete reminds me that there are of course other trams on the track, and then explains how they signal to each other to let each other know where the other trams are.
So I'm about to let the oncoming tram driver know that there is another tram behind me because I'm the lead of a tandem pair. And we do this by a series of hand signals. And the one I'm going to give is as such. And he's acknowledged that, and he has now given me a cutthroat signal, which means there's nobody behind him, so we are clear to go whenever we're ready.
And the next point we get to is a level crossing across the road.
So this is how we stop the traffic. We've already gone over the initiation treadle, and now we just spin it to the left. And now the red lights are going. So we now get back on the tram. Feel free to wave at the cars as we go by.
Easy.
Crossing complete, another mile up the tramway, and we get to the terminus at Colyton, where Pete makes me change ends and reverse the tram around.
So we're going to change ends.
So
I'm going to flick the...
So flick the first switch over, because that takes the headlight from this end to the other end. Now what we've got to do is we've got to take the trolley pole off this end, and turn it round so it's on this end.
This is your job. Yeah.
No, this is your job.
Using the hook on the end of the trolley pole, you simply pull down and reverse it round to the other end of the tram.
Oh, we're going to turn it around. Okay. Like that?
Yeah.
How do you know if that's on or not?
Because the whistles are on. The lights are on. So I know we've got some power.
And you'll then release the brake that end. So we put the brake on here this end, you release the brake that end. But surely where's the switch that says the motors now go that way rather than that way? There must be a switch for the traction motor. That's in the key. Yeah. So when you put the key in, it operates this. Do you call this a console or? Controller. Just a controller, okay. That's great.
Having fun?
That's great. Did you say that some trams have a pneumatic brake?
So some trams have hand brakes.
Hand brakes.
Some have electric brakes.
Electric brakes.
Some have air brakes. Some have no brakes at all. I shouldn't say that.
But this type of brake is a...
Just a handbrake.
But this is the hardest one.
Oh, it is,
so
yeah.
you've given me the hardest one to do.
Exactly. We
just,
need to test you.
On other trams, is it just the brake is a button or a little lever?
No, when
or?
you're doing a TDL, you only ever get one of these.
Okay. All
Unless you've done it before, then sometimes we'll give you a tram that's got a handbrake and an air brake, so you've got the choice.
A TDL, by the way, is of course a tram driving lesson.
So today you are doing one of our tram driving lessons. So that's a whole day tram driving, gets you up to 30 miles worth of driving between Riverside and Seaton up to Colyton all day. Lunch is included in those whole day ones. We even do a half day lesson as well, so if you want to do an AM or PM version of that day. And then we do something called our driver's eye experience, which gives you sort of a taster hours worth of driving between Colyton and Seaton Wetlands and back again. And all three get you that sort of experience to see what it's like to be a tram driver, specifically at Seaton. See how simple or complex it is, how you expect it to be compared to what you see as a passenger. Really enjoy a day out driving a tram. It's a sort of unique experience you can't do very many places.
After a brief stop for lunch at Colyton, we head back down towards Seaton, and I take a moment to admire the scenery as Pete takes over the driving again.
This is the moment that I obviously took a break from driving just to admire the views from the back of the tram. Really nice.
And we're heading for the depot where all the trams are maintained.
So we do all our maintenance at Riverside Depot. So that's where all of our trams go to sleep every night, store them away, and also receive their servicing, maintenance, anything that needs fixing, changing, updating. It all happens in our Riverside Depot, and we have a team of engineers on our team to do that.
And it's Matt that takes us for a tour around.
Welcome to Riverside Depot. This is where we store all the trams that we've got here. We've got 14 in total. Of those 14, 13 are passenger trams. Behind me here, this is tram number 2. So this is one of our older trams. This one was built in 1964, and it's over the pit, so we can go and have a little look underneath. Follow me. So this is tram number 2, and if we go underneath, Josh is going to ring the bell, and here is the gong underneath the tram. There we go. So if we mind your head, on the trams, these are not called bogies, these are called trucks. And this particular tram has got 2 motors on, 2 120 volt DC motors. We can continue on down. We've got the second truck, and another gong above me. This is the the brakes here, and they connect down to the brakes, obviously. We'll head out back at the other end of the pit, and we're going to have a look at tram number 12, which is the big red Feltham tram, just there. This one was built in 1966, and it's styled on a London Feltham tram. This one's actually got air brakes, as well as the manual handbrakes. This one's definitely my favourite. This one is tram number 6. It was built in 1954, and this one, look at the size of the stairs on this one. I can just about get upstairs. And here we are, up on the top deck. This one's got a capacity of 35, this one's got. When we get to one end of the line, we like passengers to be facing the direction of travel. So as we get to the terminus of each station, here we go. The seats all just flip back. So everybody's facing the direction of travel. So all the trams are powered. This is called the trolley pole. This connects to the overhead power line here, which this one is off at the moment. That it has 120 volts DC running through it. Now the interesting fact is that the overhead wire is not directly connected to the national grid. It's actually connected to batteries alongside the track, which means if there is a power cut in the local area, we can actually continue running trams for around about 24 hours. And this is our famous Blackpool tram. This is number 4. It's a half-scale version of the famous Blackpool boat trams. And on board, it's got a capacity of 20 people. The driver sits down here, where we've got a series parallel airtop controller. And this is not the steering wheel, this is the handbrake. And this is our woodwork shop, because a lot of the maintenance and a lot of the manufacturing of the tram parts is done on site. So in here, this is where we do all of our woodwork, because a lot of the trams have got wood panellings and wood trims on them, so that's all made in here. Over at the back there, those are the bits of decoration that go on the top of the traction poles, which is the poles that hold up the overhead wire.
Matt, is that what I think it is?
This is our tramway tamper, yes. So this is our 2-foot 9-inch tamper. You can see here you've got the tines here for both sides, and yeah, this is used to tamp the track.
You can visit Seaton Tramway anytime between February and October every year. We also open between Christmas and New Year's. We run our special events as well, such as our driving lessons, as well as bird-watching trams, pirate-themed trams, dinosaur trams, and of course Polar Express at Christmas. So yeah, there's always something going on at Seaton Tramway.
So over the whole day, we do a couple of runs up and down. And on the way back for the last time to check in with Pete to see how we'd done.
Actually, for a first timer, he's doing really, really well. There's a couple of things he just needs to pick up on, like remembering to do the ding ding when he should, but other than that, he could actually make a tram driver. No, he's done very well.
So my thanks to Pete. Pete, thank you so much for a magnificent day out. I'm just driving the tram back to the depot. The website is in the description. Come to East Devon, come visit the magnificent Seaton Tramway. If you just want to come as a visitor, if you want to volunteer here, you can contact them. If you want to do the tram driving experience, you can do that as well. All the details are on the website. I've had a magnificent day. Come to Seaton, come to the tramway. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, please do the bell.
Well, see you.